The Black Wall Street comes from the Negro Wall Street of America, which is a term that was affixed to the community, according to lore, by Booker T. Washington. Black Wall Street is in many ways a misnomer, because what the business community in the Greenwood District, the Black community in Tulsa, was more like, would be a Black Main Street. So these were not, banking enterprises and investment enterprises. These were mostly small businesses. So there were movie theaters and dance halls and barbershops and grocery stores and restaurants and service providers like doctors and lawyers and pharmacists and dentists. These are relatively well-off Black folks who contributed to the economic fortunes of places like the Greenwood District, Black Wall Street in Tulsa, like the successful Black business community in Muskogee, Oklahoma, and like the successful small all-Black towns that dotted Oklahoma during this period. The conditions were particularly oppressive in the Deep South, in places like Alabama, Mississippi. So there were people who came to Oklahoma during the land openings beginning in 1889, African-American people who recruited Black folks to come from the Deep South to Oklahoma, really with the idea that they could get a fair shake in Oklahoma. A number of notable figures dotted the Greenwood District in its early heyday. O.W. Gurley is considered the father of the Greenwood District. He's a relatively wealthy Black man from Arkansas who came to Oklahoma in the land run in 1889, ended up in Tulsa. 1906, he started his first business. He owned the Gurley Hotel and had a grocery store as well. He also bought land and sold it to other Black folks in the community at that time. So in some senses, he helped populate the district. So for those reasons, he's considered the founder and the father of the district. Black Wall Street, the Greenwood District, was also a community of necessity. There wouldn't have been a need for a separate Black economic island in Tulsa had it not been for Jim Crow segregation. So Black people were not able to participate fully in the mainstream economy dominated by white Tulsans. So they created their own economy. This community thrived up until the first devastation, which was the massacre. Many Black families spent days, weeks, and months living in tent cities set up by the Red Cross. And the destruction was almost complete. Property damage, conservatively estimated, was $1.5 to $2 million. Again, that's conservatively estimated. And that would translate today well over $25 million. It is a complicated event. I would say, by way of context, that it is also emblematic of the racial violence that suffused the United States during this period. And it's impossible to understand what happened in Tulsa in 1921 if you don't appreciate the kind of systemic racism that was operating in the country during that period and thereafter. The community was rebuilt after that to a substantial degree, peaking in the 1940s, early to mid-1940s, with well over 200 documented Black-owned and operated businesses. But then there was a second devastation. This was not a devastation affected through violence, but rather through policy. So generally, Black wealth is 1/10 of white wealth. That's sort of the general standard. And why is that? It's because the lack of the ability on part of African Americans to transfer wealth intergenerationally, because there are barriers to that. Among the barriers are these incidents, like the one in Tulsa, the massacre. It really obliterated Black wealth that would have otherwise transferred across generations. As Americans, we're not really good about addressing hard history. And we're not really good about making sure our textbooks include history that is troubling, particularly around race. In Tulsa in particular, Tulsa was on an upward trajectory in 1921. It went on to become the self-described oil capital of the world. So the leaders were not really interested in promoting or or including this history in documents. In fact, they had an interest in minimizing this history. Would Tulsa have been Atlanta had it not been for the massacre? Because Atlanta is considered kind of the Black Mecca and has been for the last few decades. The answer is, of course, I don't know, and we'll never know. But certainly Tulsa would be more advanced economically in terms of the Black community had it not been for that great disruptor that was the massacre. I talk about the Black Wall Street mindset, and that is the indomitable human spirit, the sort of can-do attitude in the economic and entrepreneurial realm, and that's what resonates with me when I think about Black Wall Street. It's not necessarily a geographic space. It's not a particular set of enterprises. It's a mindset, and it's a mindset that is malleable and portable.